Hey everybody!
Hey.
So we put out some feelers on Facebook to see if anyone had any questions about the RV adventure so far. And we came back with a lot. You guys had a lot of questions for us that
Good
are really
questions,
good.
too.
Very good.
Stuff.
So we thought we would do a quick little question and answer. And if we don't get to your question this time, we'll do another video and answer it next time. But we had a lot of great questions. So
We've been doing this for about 6 weeks now, right around 6 weeks, and so we thought that was a good opportunity to give you guys an update on not only what we're doing, but just to answer some questions, because now we have some experience to answer those questions well, whereas before we didn't. So
yep.
Here we go.
Okay, question number 1. Is life easier or more difficult than life in a traditional home? I don't think that's a cut and dry answer.
That is a complex answer. In some ways, it's easier because when thinking about cleaning your house, I tell Abby how surprised I am how quickly you can clean the RV. It could be a mess. It could look like it's just a tornado went through, toys everywhere, plates or whatever. It could look awful at first glance. In less than 10 minutes, everything can be put away, and it looks amazing.
And it's clean. It's easy to clean, not just pick up, but to clean
and
too.
You
Goes
can
fast.
wipe it, clean it, sanitize it, all within 10 minutes. And that part's neat because you spend less time having to do that cleaning. So that's one way it's easier.
You just have less stuff. You have less stuff.
That's another way it's easier.
And you find yourself sort of tidying up as you go. I don't really have a lot of cleaning days anymore, or times where I'm really trying to clean the house. It's just a little bit as we go through our life, through the day. So that is really nice. Tiny house living, I like it. I do.
I don't know about tiny house living, but
I like it.
RV living's all right.
Yeah.
Getting used to it.
But it is difficult in other ways too.
Yep.
Travel days and coming to a new RV park invariably have something go wrong, or many things.
It seems like if something is going to go wrong, that's pretty stressful. It usually happens on a travel day, or when you're on a travel day. It's you get a problem with the tow dolly, a problem with a component of the RV not working all of a sudden, or just travel days are very stressful. It's a huge rig to drive. It's 40 feet inside, but it's 41 feet front to back outside, plus the tow dolly, plus the minivan. Travel days are tough. They're hard and they're stressful, and you don't have those when you're just living at home. You don't have to stress about moving your home miles down the freeway.
Yeah.
So.
But on the other hand, traveling is convenient from the actual travel perspective. We have a bathroom right there. And I can make food while we zoom down the road.
We'll be going down the road traveling to our next stop, and Abby will say, "I gotta hop back there and make lunch real quick for everybody." And
so it's kind of convenient.
I'll say, "Okay, I'll be up here driving still." So that's unusual if you've never done that before. It's fun.
It is.
You have everything you need right there. We even do laundry while we're driving. The load of laundry's going in our washer dryer combo, so we can still live while we're flying down the freeway at a whopping 65. So.
And there was a question about laundry. We do have a little washer dryer combo. It's small. It doesn't give you.
Yeah.
I'm just going to answer it now.
Yeah. This is question number 2. What do you do about all the laundry?
And what do we do about all the laundry? Because we do have a lot. Most of it we can do in our little washer dryer combo, and I actually love the combo. I like it better than having separate ones because even though it takes longer for the load to be finished, you don't have to worry about switching it. And how often do we get stinky clothes? Because we forget that they're in there after we wash them.
Abby she told me she wants to get two large capacity all-in-ones when we get home. Instead of having just a washer and a dryer, she wants to be able to just do 2 loads at once and not have to switch them.
I love it.
And so she just can put them in dirty and then come back a couple hours later and just fold them and not have to worry about switching them.
It's so nice.
And when you go through as much laundry as we do, you think about stuff like that.
But it is small. So when it comes to things like bedding and towels and that sort of thing, there are most RV campsites. In fact, I don't think we've been to one yet that doesn't. They have a little laundromat.
Mm-hmm. We used
Some
one
have
today.
more, some have less, but we did it today. And you just wash all the towels and the bedding and rugs and whatnot, and then so that's every so often. But most of it we can do right in our thing. So okay, I think these kind of go together. So we'll talk about them both.
Yeah, let's do it.
What adjustments have you had to make, and how did you imagine it would be versus how it actually is?
Let me start with the second part of that question, if you don't mind. I personally didn't have a lot of expectations. I didn't know anyone personally who full-timed. Abby is friends with some people who have done it. So I really couldn't pick the brain of anyone who had done it before. So it was pretty blank canvas for me as far as what to expect, what life might be like day to day. So I take that as a good thing. I didn't really have any expectations. And so as far as how I thought it would be, I didn't know how it would be. So
that's fair. And therefore, adjustments you've had to make?
I feel like I've made adjustments based on just RV living, but not against any expectations. No.
What adjustments? What's the biggest one?
So I'm an extrovert by nature. I'm really like an extrovert with occasional introverted tendencies. I don't know. I didn't say that right, but I think you know what I'm trying to say. And the biggest adjustment for me is finding time to be alone. It's almost impossible to find alone time. There's always something to do. There's always a meal to prepare, or there's a shopping trip that needs done, or there's something on the RV that needs done, or we're going somewhere, or we're doing something. There's very little time where we're like, okay, we are doing absolutely nothing. I wouldn't say we do have some of that time, but when we have total free time, we're usually doing something as a family. And so I've found that at nights, after everyone goes to bed, is my only time to really be by myself. And so I'll read or I'll listen to music with my headphones. And that's been an adjustment. It's just constantly being with people. It's people that I love dearly, and it's very enjoyable. But that's been the biggest adjustment for me, I think.
And ironically, I'm the introvert, and that has not been an issue for me like I thought it would. I was really worried that I would have a problem. And I wonder if that's just a function of I was always home. I always had people with me all the time. And so maybe I have a higher tolerance, for lack of a better word. I don't know. But there are times like the grocery store, I go alone, and it's nice. But the question about how did I imagine it versus how it is, it's pretty much like I imagined it, actually. I think the only thing is that it has been harder to find a daily rhythm than I anticipated. And
yeah, that's true.
I'm not sure that's necessarily a bad thing or a good thing. It just is. So
we're just used to having a morning schedule, more structured. The time is normally at home because we homeschool our kids. We have more structured time. Not a lot because our kids aren't very old, but we did have some, and we don't. And I think a lot of it's been because we've had stuff to do, like trips or visits to certain sites, historical sites, and so a lot of times we'll leave in the morning, and so we just don't plan that we can't plan that time out always.
Yeah. So we're hoping here in Maine we'll have a little more downtime. Maybe we can get a rhythm going a little bit more, but it's okay even if we don't, as long as we're getting the important things. So okay, questions that kind of go together. Have the kids made friends along the way, and how are they handling not having their friends at home with them?
They have made friends along the way, quite a few.
Yeah.
And we were making a video earlier, and Abby said something that is true. At this age, kids make friends so easily, and that's nice. It's nice. We're staying right next door to another family who we become friends with, and they've been with their boys nonstop for the past 2 days.
They're
so.
playing right now, in fact.
Yeah.
You might hear them in the background. Guess what they're doing? They're having a disc golf tournament.
Right.
Surprise! It's the Bowmans.
Yep. All right.
We'll
Disc
take
golf.
that out.
We'll take that out.
No Bowmans. Okay.
But yeah, they make friends easily, and that really is a big deal for us. And we, as far as friends back home, yeah, they do miss their friends back home. We're to the point now where they specifically mention friends by name, and they'll say, "I miss so and so," and they've all done it with many of their friends, and so yeah, they do think about it. We miss our friends too.
We do.
One of our friends, Marcy, asked who misses their friends more, them or us, and I don't know. I'm not sure.
It's a good
I'm
question.
not sure.
We would love to have people come and hang out with us too, and we try to find friends that we have in other areas of the country that we haven't seen in a while. Some we've met online and have never met in person, and we have enjoyed meeting up with those people and in the future, those people that we're going to be able to see. So we try to keep that social aspect going, and it's good. But of course, we miss our friends and our family from home a lot.
But we're making new friends as well. And it's the people that you meet when you're full-timing it you meet people from all walks of life. And that's a really fascinating part of what we're doing, is just meeting new people and getting to know people who
It's been really neat.
who do all kinds of things and who have all different types of beliefs, and they're all wonderful. It's great. It's been great.
It has been great just to meet different people. So.
If you really want to get a taste for the kind of people we have in this country, and you really want to get a good glimpse of the good side of humanity, hop in an RV and stay at a few RV camps and just be friendly, and you'll meet people who are wonderful representatives of the human race.
That is so true. So true. I like that.
I rehearsed that.
The other question, along with laundry, some logistics about RV life. How is it with one bathroom?
One bathroom.
I think it's fine.
That's fine.
It hasn't been an issue.
Well, no, it hasn't been an issue because I think for it to be an issue, it would have to be a lot more inconvenient than it is. There have been times where people have had to use the bathroom all at the same time. Yes, that's happened. And
Exercising self-control and patience. It's a good lesson.
And exercising physical control of your own body is sometimes a requirement when other people have to go before you. So, but it hasn't been like something we've said, "Oh my gosh, we only have one bathroom. Life is awful."
No.
That hasn't been like that.
I will say there was one time where it was an issue, and that was when we had a little bit of food poisoning and we had 3 children getting sick all at the same time.
Yeah.
And there was only one toilet. That was hard.
That was tough.
But otherwise, it's okay.
Well, we got through it, and they got through it. And it really.
We used bowls.
Yeah. Well, we also have a vanity. If you've seen the inside of our RV, you're familiar with the layout. We have a vanity area right by the shower, which is just outside the door of the bathroom, where the potty is. So, people can brush their teeth at the vanity. They can wash their hands at the vanity. So it's not like you have to do every item of personal care in the commode area. So that makes it easier too.
It's a really brilliant setup for a small space.
Yeah.
It is. Makes it work well.
And a family of 7 can make one bathroom work.
There you go.
Who would have thought?
Okay. So some things about our itinerary. What is our travel itinerary, and do we have set places, or are we winging it?
We have an itinerary. It is relatively fluid. We have a general idea of what we're doing in the next few weeks. But like, if you ask me where we're going to be in April of next year, I don't know.
And our reservations are not set in stone. We've had some transfer. We bought a membership.
This is important to know.
This is
this
important.
bit.
And this answers some other questions
Yeah,
coming.
yeah.
Okay, so we chose to buy RV campground membership that gets us into all of the parks owned by this RV membership place.
Network.
Should I use
Network
that?
of.
Okay.
No, you don't have to. But,
So, and we decided to pay a larger sum upfront for this pass, and we stay for free at any of their parks up to 2 or 3 weeks, depending on the park.
most parks 3 weeks.
Yeah. However, we upgraded it, and it took a while for the paperwork to come through. So while we could still stay at these parks, we couldn't make reservations out very far because part of the upgrade let us do that.
Which caused a huge headache. But we've gotten through. Long story short, it's done now. We're pretty
The
sure.
transfer is
The
done
transfer is
now.
done. The reservations are not done. Those will probably be done tomorrow. But it will help when that's all done. And that's been an item of stress particularly for Abby, but for both of us really, because the truth is we would love to know our itinerary.
Set in stone.
For like the next 4 months out. That's ideally what we'd like to have, and I think after tomorrow we'll have that, at least somewhat. But we don't have that yet. I mean, we know we're going to we know we're going where we're going next for sure.
I can tell you the states
But then
will
it's like
hit
fluid after
along
that.
the way. When exactly we'll be there, I can't tell you.
Right.
So we're in Maine right now, and we just got here. And we'll be here 2 or 3 weeks, depending on how these reservations work out.
hoping for 3.
We'll hit New Hampshire. We'll hit Massachusetts. And while we're at both of those places, we will be going to some other states where there aren't RV parks. We'll hit New York City while we're there, probably Rhode Island, Delaware, Connecticut, yada, yada. That whole New England-ish area, Vermont. But we'll have to drive and make some day trips. We'll do Pennsylvania. Did I say that? Pennsylvania. And
I don't know if you said it or not,
anyway,
but you just
we'll
now
do
said
Pennsylvania.
it. So counts now.
And then we kind of have to move quickly across the country. The plan is to be in Southern California with Eli's family for the holidays, Thanksgiving through the New Year. So we will do Indiana, Illinois, Missouri, to Texas, to Arizona, to California pretty quickly, with perhaps a 2-week stay in Missouri, but it'll be really quick the other places. Just we don't have time. So we will have to come back and hit them more thoroughly later. But that's the general itinerary. So we have an itinerary, and it's not set in stone, and so we'll probably end up winging some of it. That's the answer.
Did you mention the Pacific Northwest? This is
we'll go
after the
everywhere.
New Year. We basically have
We
an
wanna go
idea of
everywhere.
what we're doing throughout the rest of this year. But after that, it's really like, okay, we know we kind of want to hit the Pacific Northwest, Utah, Arizona, Idaho. Like we want to get everywhere, like Abby said, and we'll find a way to do it.
So that's what we know right now.
Yep.
All right. Lots of questions about RV parks in general. Are they all crowded? No. In fact, it's kind of uncrowded now. During the week, there's a flow. Most people don't full-time, so weekends are more crowded than weekdays. So right now it's a weekday. The 2 sites next to us are empty. 2 sites on the other side are empty. Lots of empty space.
It was like that at our last campground also,
Yes. Actually, all of them have been
except for
that way,
Williamsburg.
except for the first one, the
Yeah.
Williamsburg one. But that's a big tourist site, and it's summer.
That's true.
So,
That's true.
but some are more packed than others. Someone was just telling me about one in Hershey, Pennsylvania, where when they left, they had 3 RVs waiting, trying to get into their spot. So we haven't experienced that yet, but
Fingers crossed.
they're all different. What features have been nice? Swimming pools at most of them. The kids have enjoyed putt-putt. We've had lake beaches at this one and the last one, which have been really nice. It's good to have the laundry. It's nice when they have a little concrete,
like a pad, kind
concrete
of.
pad. It just keeps it a little cleaner.
Yeah.
Um,
Not everyone has that, and we've seen enough now. Some seem to be more rustic than others.
Yeah.
This is the first one we've been to that doesn't have a pool, but it has a beautiful lake. Like where I'm looking at it right now. It's just on the other side of the camera.
It's lovely.
Yeah.
And swimmable.
Mm-hmm.
Do most have a tent area? Yep. If you're looking to stay and use a tent, yes, they all, I think,
Mm-hmm.
have had a place for tents. And sometimes you can put them on your site as well. Apps to find a place to stay. We use the app for our travel or our membership sites. But
Our network
some
has an app, and that's primarily what we use to find sites and things.
But there are others. There are lots of apps out there. Passport America will show you things around. There are a lot. Just look for them.
Full-time families.
Yeah.
Is another one. Is another good resource.
Are they expensive?
Are what expensive?
RV parks.
Oh, so if you don't have any kind of membership of any kind at all, they're really not bad. Renting an RV is going to be the bigger expense than staying at an RV resort or an RV campground. They're not too bad. I saw a sign in our last one when we were staying in New York that said, daily nights were like $15 a day or something.
And
like
it can
that.
be
really
up
reasonable.
to in the 60s or 70s a night.
And it depends on where you are. The one we went to was a huge, over 1,000 sites. So it was pretty reasonable. They had, and that it may have been starting at $15. It wasn't maybe just every site was $15, but yeah, they're really not bad. The cost of renting an RV is going to be way bigger than paying your daily fees at a campground.
Yeah, not bad. Are we rating the parks in any way? Not officially, but I'm keeping a mental tally. The first park I loved Williamsburg, but they had music blaring at the pool all the time. And then at 8 o'clock, they pulled out the karaoke and they didn't turn the original music off. And it was really loud.
You had two sources of loud music playing simultaneously. And it did not make for a very pleasurable...
Relaxing.
It was a cacophony. Look that word up.
Drove me nuts. But,
yeah.
and then the one after that had no one at the pool. And it was very quiet, but it closed early. Mm-hmm. Every park is different, and there are things that you like and you won't like about them. So
no two parks have been the same. They've all been wildly different.
Well, we haven't had a bad one.
No, but again, with kids, you kind of just want stuff that's going to keep them occupied. You want them to be able to have fun at these RV parks, and all of them have that stuff. This one just doesn't happen to have a pool. It has a lake instead, which is very nice and lovely.
And canoeing and.
I was out on a paddle boat today with Charlie, because we had to chase down a flotation device that ran errant into the lake that didn't belong to us. So
this kid has lost a lot of teeth. You see that?
3.
He's got
4 in total.
Let's see that smile, $1 million smile.
Show your holes.
Oh yeah, look at that. You're gonna be running out of teeth to lose.
Kids still lose teeth when we're out and about as well. Okay.
So we have Sprint Business for our cell phone, and back home, we have it through my company. And back home, they've been great, zero problems. But
it's great in Ohio. Yeah.
And it's not. I don't think that it's because it's Sprint necessarily. I think it's just being out in the country. You're just not going to have great service no matter who you're with. Abby seems to think that Verizon might magically be available everywhere.
I don't know that it's just Verizon.
But anyway.
Maybe not.
Anyway, when you're in the sticks, you're in the sticks, and there's not a lot of cell service no matter who you're with. But data has been an issue. Luckily here, we haven't had to pay for Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi is free here. It's the first camp we've been to where the Wi-Fi has been free, and it's pretty solid. So no complaints. No complaints here. But what's weird is having data but no phone signal. So you can be on Facebook, you can message people, you can be on Google, on any. I'll use your apps and things. But then you go to send a text message and it won't send. So it's like we're backwards with our tech, but you work around it.
All right. The last few questions are about the finances and how you make something like this work financially.
Everyone everyone wants to know about the finances. It's like the question that everyone wants to ask, but nobody wants to ask because they don't want to be that person that's like, well, how do you afford to do this?
So here's the thing. We can only speak about our experience, but I will let you know that a lot of people do this in a lot of different ways. We have met people who are nurses who travel to hospitals that are in need of nurses, and they're gone often and they want their families with them, so they full-time.
People that work on the power lines, they'll
travel
they'll be like
sometimes.
on call, and they make like twice as much when they're able to just be anywhere at any time.
Yeah.
So they're
So
full-time.
there are people who have jobs that move them around and they want their families with them.
Mm-hmm.
And there are people that have mobile jobs.
Yep.
They work from home.
They can work remotely.
A lot of network marketers can make this lifestyle work. For us, and there's one other thing. A lot of people will also go to a park and then stay for like 3 months or so and work at the park as an employee there.
It's called work camping.
Work camping, and they go from park to park. So there are a myriad of ways to pay for it. We pay for it. One, it's actually the daily living of it is less expensive than living in our home for us. And that includes the traveling and the diesel and all of that.
Diesel is expensive. So when we travel, we spend hundreds of dollars on every travel day. Hundreds. Just on fuel.
But it's still less.
It is.
Now, what might bring it up is the fact that we have chosen to do a lot of things like Williamsburg, Jamestown, all of that. And that was kind of the purpose. We want to have downtime and just experience the state, but we also want to take advantage of those opportunities while we're there.
Yeah.
And those, of course, cost some money.
Yeah.
Homeschool discounts can sometimes be a great help there. That was one of the questions is
we're AAA members
on
also.
AAA. We don't have any great secrets, honestly. If someone has some, let us know. Or if you know a certain place that most people would like to go.
It would be really helpful if you had children 5 years old and younger, because it seems like everywhere we go, kids 5 and under are free or very deeply discounted. Our triplets are 6, so we just missed the boat on the 5-year-old discount. So we're paying full child price now for them instead of free.
That's right. And another question was, how do you save on costs? And we just we are still living the same life. Like I said, it's a little bit cheaper anyway. So we just live the way that we always have.
And every family is different, because some families want to eat out more often, and others don't. Others want to find a farmer's market or a fresh produce department at a nice grocery store and cook every meal. And if you're able to cook every meal, you're obviously going to save a lot more money. Going out to eat, the average bill, I've sort of been keeping track in my mind. The average bill's been right around $65, $70 to feed everybody when we go out to eat. So when we go out to eat, it's a big choice. It's like, do we want to go out to eat or do we want to cook? And every family is going to be different.
Yeah. So what are we doing for income? Eli owns his own merchant services business, Buckeye Pay, and basically all he needs to continue doing that business is a laptop, a cell phone, and businesses, which thankfully are everywhere in the United States. So what's great about Buckeye Pay for us is that Eli actually has not had to go out and work since we've started here, because it is a true residual income. So once he has customers, we get paid, he gets paid, and then we get paid every month as their bills come in, and he gets a portion of that. However, the plan was not for him to stay with us all the time, although it's been fabulous.
Truth is, I've worked 0 days since we started the full-timing thing. That was not the plan. The plan was for me to work, and maybe still is. I don't know. The way that this is rolling out, I don't know. how much I'll be working.
It is.
The expectation was that I would work, but it's not. It hasn't been turning out that way.
It is wise as a business owner to
work.
continue working.
It's good to work and earn money. Not everyone, and we know that not everyone has a way to earn passive income. It's not like someone just is able to do that all of a sudden. But
this is something he's been building for years.
Yeah. I've been in this industry for a long time, since '04, and my own business since 2009. So.
And he's great at what he does. And if you or anyone you know owns a business and needs a lower credit card rate, Buckeye Pay can help.
Let me know.
That's how we do it, and that's how it's going.
Yeah.
And those are all the questions thus far. I'm sure there will be more, and we welcome them. If you've thought of any as we have been talking, feel free to post them at the bottom here on YouTube, and we'll answer those in another post or write in the comments, depending on what the question is. But when all is said and done, I think we're having a good time. There have been challenges and there has been stress. And I will say one thing. This has both brought us closer as a family and also brought more arguing amongst the children.
That is true.
It was really, really hard in the beginning. There was lots of bickering and fighting, but I think, fingers crossed, it's getting better, and that was only to be expected. Actually, I think, if anything, they've done probably better than I thought they would, with the exception of some of the fighting amongst themselves.
And
they've made the transition really well.
And the fighting is getting better.
It is.
And we're hoping that we've sort of crossed that bridge to the promised land when it comes to their interactions with each other. They're siblings. They're gonna do what siblings do. But so far it's been getting better. So gosh, I really hope it does, because that was tough for a long time there.
Was. But lots of really great lessons are being learned that are incredibly valuable. So some stresses, yes. Some changes, definitely. But I think all in all, we are very glad we're doing this, and it's been good.
And we've, even I've changed. In just a month and a half we've been doing this, being away from your everyday normal life, it changes you. You think differently. Things that maybe used to be important to you, maybe they're less important to you. That's certainly happened to me so far on this trip, and it's made me sort of refocus on what's important and what really matters. And it's been a good thing, a good change for me. Have you changed at all? Has this trip done anything for you personally?
Yeah, I think it's brought me a little bit out of my shell. I am an introvert and naturally shy, and I've gotten better as I've gotten older, a lot better. But still interacting with people makes me very nervous.
It's brought her out of her shell, and it's sort of made me want to go more into mine. That's kind of bizarre.
That is weird.
That's weird.
But I've really enjoyed talking with people and
that has been wonderful.
And just being so close to everyone all the time. So it's been good. And that's that. Thanks for your questions. We will be back again.
Love you guys.
Bye.